Halo semua, hi everyone. Selamat datang kembali di ruang obrolan BMB. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Saya Yasinta Kurniase, I'm Yasinta Kurniase. Kali ini saya akan berbicara tentang imbuhan. I'm going to talk about what's a simple translation in English is called addition. So you might come across or hear ber, me, in, kan, me, kan, per, etc. Okay, awesome, unique, beautiful, challenging part of Indonesian grammar. I would claim that this is probably the core of Indonesian grammar. Okay, right. Banyak orang yang mengatakan kompleks, sulit, dan membingungkan. Jadi, saya membuat semacam ringkasan. Once again, I hear from my own experience as a learner and as a teacher or language educator or researcher that people complain, even terrified about this part of Indonesian grammar. Okay, so my job is always how to find a way to make it fun, in the form of summarizing it, and then as you progress, you can expand, you can challenge yourself a bit more with this element of Indonesian grammar. So let me show you what I've done, and I make a list di kolom-kolom, ya. Dan ini saya akan pasang di Moodle, di Monas, and I'm going to use this maybe every week. We'll go through this with my students and get them to practice. But the reason why I'm including this in my learning strategy series, so that outside the class and everyone else like you can watch it again and again and again, repeat and take note and practice it, and let me know what you think. And if you need any e-copy, I can send it to you, and for my university students, they should be able to download it from Moodle. Okay, so I call imbuhan. Simple translation is addition. This is the summary. I'm going to start from the top, and in my class, I always say this. I get the student to practice, for example, find a base word, kerja, and then they will have to add these forms into that word. Add them, and from the short one into the more complex one. And I've actually reflected on my notes. Yeah. So from kerja, for example, you can come up with bekerja. You can add kan, mengerjakan. So that's the active, the passive one. That means you can add di and kan, dikerjakan. And for the noun, you can add PE, pekerja. Another noun you can add per and an, pekerjaan, and so on and so on. And I kind of encourage and develop some sort of games with my students where if in the article we find a word which has base word, I will write it down and get the whole class to think of other forms and then discuss the meaning of each form. So let's go through this. At the top, I have ber, B-E-R, ber, awalan ber, prefix ber. Now in this column, I have two notes. The first one is ber as verb, kata kerja, which means to have or to do. And it's intransitive, which means it doesn't need an object. It cannot have an object. What are the examples? Berenang, bernyanyi, berdiri, yeah? Berbudaya can mean verb and adjective, which means sophisticated or cultured. Okay? And then the next note for ber is it can function as adjectives. What's the example? Beruang. The base word is uang, money. Beruang is to have money, and the actual meaning is wealthy or to be rich. Now, I have a little note for this one. You just have to be very careful. The word beruang, when it's a noun, it means bear, as in panda bear or black bear from Canada. So you have to be very careful how what to tell the difference? Context. Is beruang means wealthy or rich, or beruang is polar bear. Okay, next list I have me, and it's verb, kata kerja, active, which means to. Yeah, what's the example? Menulis, menyanyi, mencari, menjadi. Yeah, and it can be both transitive or intransitive. It can have an object. It can also function without an object. In this column, with me, I also have D. So me is the active form, D is the passive form. What's the example? Menulis is ditulis, menyanyi is dinyanyi or dinyanyikan, mencari, dicari, etc. etc. Next on my list, I have makan. Yeah? And it's verb, active, transitive, which means it needs an object. What's the example? Mencarikan, memberikan, menjelaskan, membesarkan. In that column as well, I have the opposite of active, which is passive. So with makan, you have dikan, yeah? Possessive form or passive form, I must say. The next one I have memper, and it's verb, active. Okay, it can means to increase or put more quality of the base word. What's the example? Memperbesar from besar, memperkecil from kecil, mempertinggi from tinggi, memperbaiki from baik. The passive form, of course, has D, so it becomes diperai, passive form. From memperbaiki, you have diperbaiki. From memperbesar, you have diperbesar. You also have memperi, yeah? And it's verb, active, transitive. And the passive form, of course, is diperi. Next on my list, I have P-E. Okay, so now we at the noun list. Before we all talk about the verb, kata kerja. Yang ini kita mulai dengan kata benda. So you have per, okay, and it turns into noun person, kata benda, okay. Person or doer, committer. What's the example? Ajar, you have pengajar. Siar, you have penyiar. Curi, you have pencuri. Next on the noun list, daftar di kata benda, ada pe dan an. Okay? So it's noun. It means things, objects, stuff, or the process of the making of concept, ideology, ism, event, or tragedy. So just remember, you have noun, simple noun, but you also have abstract, normally a big thing. So what's the example in the pean? You have pelajaran from ajar. You have siar becomes penyiaran. You have curi becomes pencurian, the stealing of. Yeah. Now, in the big nouns, you have kembang. It becomes pengembangan. So the development, very big noun. Okay. Now, on my noun list, I also have an, ending, akhiran, the ending an, Okay. So it's a noun. What does that mean? It's a things, objects, or stuff. What are the examples? From ajar, you have ajaran. From gambar, you have gambaran. From tulis, you have tulisan. From tangis, you have tangisan. So you have base word, and then you add an at the end, it becomes noun. Yeah. Next on my noun list, you have kean. The formula is kean, K-A, and then N at the end. So a prefix and then at the end. Yeah. that makes noun, verb, okay? But it can also mean verb, kata kerja. So kean has two functions, as noun and then as verb. You have to be very careful. Okay, so what's the example of kean as noun? You have kesedihan from sedih, lapar kelaparan. You have ngeri kengerian. You have banjir, kebanjiran, kering kekeringan. So the last two can function as verb. Yeah. The last on my list, the summary of Indonesian edition or Imbuhan, I put ter at the bottom. As I said before, because you need to develop it like that. Don't start from the most complex one. So with the ter form, you have two meanings. You have two things. The first one, it functions as verb, kata kerja. What's the example? Tertarik from tarik, which means interested in. Yeah, and then you have pesona becomes terpesona, is amazed. Yeah, and then you have tinggal, tertinggal, left behind. Tidur, tertidur. You have jatuh, terjatuh. You have dampar, terdampar, etc. Just remember the ter form in verb is one of the most complex form of verb. Yeah, because there are so many type of verbs in Indonesian grammar. Just remember that when you come across with ter, it's almost likely that it's more complex than, let's say, a simple verb. Tidur and tertidur, both verbs, but the meaning are quite different. And tertidur is more complex in terms of meaning. The last ter form, I categorize that as adjectives. So in English it means est, or the most, or the best. Ya, jadi kalau ada degree of comparison itu yang pakai paling, ya, paling besar. So what's the example? Tercepat, the fastest. Terpandai, the smartest. Terkecil, the smallest. Terbesar, the biggest. Tercinta, beloved, the most loved. So you notice that verbs for ter has the base word verb. So tertinggal, tertidur, terdampar. For the adjective ter, it also has the base word, which is adjective. So you have kecil, besar, pandai, cepat, and so on. Right? Okay. So this is just a simple summary, my version, of course. I will read through very quickly, starting from the top. I have ber, me, di, mekan, dikan, mei, di, memper, diperi, memperi, diperi, pean, an, kean, ter, dan ter. Yeah? So in my class, I often have games with my students. If I mention something, probably a word with base word, I write it down and I get the students to remember the formula. I start from the top. What are the formula? Formulanya apa? Okay, coba pakai ber. Try ber. Coba pakai me. Coba pakai di. Coba pakai mekan. Coba pakai dikan. Whether they fit or not. But this exercise is a kind of fun. Don't worry about the meaning. It's for you to get used to the form. The only way to master this is by do it again and again and again and again. Try and error. Coba salah. Okay. So we'll be talking a little bit more about Indonesian grammar. But this is a summary, a short formula. It belongs to the learning strategy which I've been developing at Monash University for my students. But every one of you is welcome to try. Imbuhan everyone. Sampai bertemu di obrolan yang berikutnya.